Hey, we're back. This time we have the 1983 Mercury Lynx brochure, sales catalog, whatever you'd like to call it. This is a departure from the Ford manuals. This weird kind of Tron-like grid thing going on, and it kind of fades into the back cover, kind of. So this one, it doesn't make all that great for framed photo art, or at least the cover doesn't, but we'll get into the rest of the car here. So on the front they feature actually a rather highly trimmed car. There's TRX wheels and remote sport mirrors and extended bumpers, so this is probably like a GLX. Heading off into the first page, Conquest of Inner Space. Yeah. So here they're just trying to talk about some of the design features, interior comfort, and practical features, as well as some of the mechanical aspects of these. Talks about each of the three body styles, and it actually shows them pretty neat here. This would make for a neat frame photo. If only these lines weren't covering up these cars, this would be an awesome shot, because you have your two-door, four-door, and your wagon, and they're each GLs or GLXs. But it's pretty neat, and they each have a different set of wheels on them, each a different color. It's pretty cool. Yeah, they are highly trimmed. This one has a rear wiper. This one doesn't, though, but this one does. Anywho, moving along. For some plus some. Yeah. So here's the family car. The family car for the family that likes to travel together. Yeah, in these, unlike some of the Omnis, you can actually fit adults comfortably in the back seats. It's something special about the Escorts. And it doesn't matter what body style you have, whether it's the four-door or the two-door or the wagon. The two-door versus four-door thing, the only difference is with four doors, you're able to get into the back seat easier, but the roof line is the same. Even the hatch is the same. With the wagon, same story. You get into the back seat just as easy, but there is more cargo space behind the rear bench, obviously. It talks about some of the new things, like the 13-gallon fuel tank is now standardized. Cargo capacity, folding down the rear seat of the 5-door goes, so behind the back seat in the sedan, the 4-door, it's 16.6 cubic feet. But if you fold down the second row seat, you actually almost double it. It turns into 26 cubic feet. And the wagons are similar. You get something like 27 in the back before you fold down the seat. Once you fold down the seat, you get something like 58. Living space. Here we actually show a pretty good photo of, well, actually probably not a preferred interior, especially underneath all these red lights. But you're able to see here we have an automatic transmission. This is slightly higher trim, though, because we do have cruise control, air conditioning, and we have remote colored mirrors. We have red cloth velvet across all the seats. These seats are the same as the 82 ones, but they use slightly different colors, slightly different fabrics. But the buns are exactly the same, and the stitching and ribbing on these even seem identical. The other seats will differ from the prior years. Mercury, trying to be fancy, they go into extreme detail. They're actually saying that there's 16-ounce cut pile carpeting covering the floor. None of these other books will actually say anything about the quality of the carpet. But the carpet is the same from 81 to 90. They never changed it. The vendors, I believe, had changed a few times, but nothing significant. Trackstar. Here's where we focus on the Lynx RS. So if you don't know, this would be the equivalent of the Escort GT. So it has all the GT features. For 83, it has blacked out taillights. 83, it should be black plastic bumpers because they'll be lighter than aluminum. But they wrap around all the way, have the full trim marks, and they have blacked out bumper rub strips. Same thing up front. There's even a black lower air dam. 83 is the first year for side molding. You'll find this on all the turbo models come 84 and 85. This LS or RS has actually even got a smoker window on it. The rear window pops out. On pretty much all the other Escorts, this is sealed in. There's nothing you can do about it. It's inside a channeled gasket, so it won't pop out. These seats are unique to the RSs and the RS only. This is the only way you'll find these. Supposedly for 83, some LN7s could come with these seats, but they're extremely hard to come by. Those cars, there were only about 10,000 to begin with, and you can only, it would be safe to assume that far less than half of those 10,000s even got these seats. But standardized for the RS in this year would be the 5-speed transmission and the new EFI engine. On all these, you also get a decal here and here, just like the turbo models. It would say turbo here, and I believe down here on turbo. Rear spoiler is standard. Talks about the engine some, because the new engine, new suspension. Yep, graphics. Yep. Nothing too crazy. You do get TRX wheels out of the gate with these. Sadly, that's all they talk about the RS for now. Here's where we get to the wagons. They focus on specifically the wagons. Yep, brag about their size, how they're compact cars, but on the inside they're crazy practical. Like I said, you have 27 feet until you fold down the bench, and now you got 58. And these you can get in every trim level available, except for the RS. The RS you can only get as the 2-door. And the wagons, they still came as Woodies. I believe that carried on until 84. But they're available in, like I said, all trims, all options, including a luggage rack. The rare ones would be moonroof and luggage rack. You can see the rack doesn't come all the way forward, and that's because they left just enough room for the sunroof. But having both, they do exist, but they're quite rare. Now it talks about the interiors of most of the cars, but mostly the wagon. Here we double down on the wagon cargo feet again. Cargo back capacity, I should say. Looking at another automatic with cruise and more remote mirrors. It's possible that this is the same. Maybe it's not the same red car. I think the one from a few pages back was a 4-door. Yes, so it was a 4-door. Otherwise, identical. We talk about the instrumentation, even though that it's not showing it. But this photo is interesting. For them to take this photo, they had to take a car and actually remove the entire right wall to do this. They didn't Photoshop the B-pillar like they could have some of them, but they actually took a car that was completely open on the side. Maybe they had an auto show car built specifically for that. Here's where we get into interior stuff. These cutaways are pretty cool. Mercury had a tendency of doing this to all their cars in the early 80s. And they actually color and point out some features inside the cutaway. You're welcome to explore that yourselves. But seats, there's a lot of seat options in these. We have high back cloth seats, vinyl high backs. We have cloth low backs, reclining cloth low backs. Oh, knitted vinyl. Aha. And then these are the velour cloth ones. So these were in pretty much every EXP in 82. And now pretty much the only way to get them in 83 is through having a properly trimmed out Lynx. And then we have the RS sport seats. Yep, you can see that they're only available in the RS. Exterior colors, not too much, or at least not over here, but there's a lot of optional colors. And that's an important thing to say. Say 83, you had the most mechanical options, interior options, but then you also had the most seat combo color options, as well as the most exterior color options. If you're looking to have an early Lynx from the 80s, 83 is going to be the best one for you. Here we talk about all the dimensions across all these cars. If you've seen my my video on the here we go, on the 2-door and 4-door, you'll know that every single one of these specs except for the cargo space is the same. And they do list the curb weight. Interestingly, the Lynx wagon is only 2,100 pounds. That's about how much an LN7 weighs. And the base model Lynx 2-door is only 2,000 pounds. So that's wild. The Escorts, I believe, weigh a little bit heavier than these guys, it sounds like. But maybe I'm wrong. Here we get into all the standard features. And boy, this would be something to frame. Look at this. You get to see all these different bodied cars and different trims and different colors. Some of them are sporting different wheels. But then we get so many options, more than I could ever go through for you guys. This is the magic of 83. This is what we're talking about. When we get to 84, we're restricted down to this. When we get to 82, we got this. 83, holy crap, holy. That's a lot. Especially for the Lynx, because Lynx went and standardized a bunch of the stuff. It's a lot. You will not see this many options on any other Lynx or LN7 or EXP, and you'll never see this on the Escorts. 83 is the best year. I don't know what else to say. And we get a few more visual aspects of some of the features, things like rear defrost and sunroof. That was a good way of putting both into one photo. There's a few different radio options that you can get. This one here, it's showing off the AM, FM stereo cassette radio. You could also get premium sound. It has an additional amplifier and premium speakers, a few other things. Power brakes and power steering are standard on the wagon for 83. That's an important thing to note. Up until this point, I believe they were all manual. Steering is standard and power came later. But you don't need the power steering. It's overkill on these cars. Unless you're in a parking lot on a 100-degree sunny day. In all other cases, you'll be able to turn the wheel with your pinky with manual steering. These cars just don't weigh enough to need it. Remote control rear quarter windows, available on only the 3-door hatchbacks. I'd like to see what other cars these are available in. It might only be the RS. Those are the only ones that I've ever seen these on. I've never seen these on any normal Lynxes or Escorts. And then the front venting smoker windows, very rare. Well, let's try to find that, Remote control rear quarter windows. Oh, well, I have to apologize. I dug around and I couldn't find it. While this has like every standard option and every, what I thought was every available option, it doesn't actually cover all of them. Oh, hey, here we go. Windows, remote quarter control corner. You can actually get that option on any of these cars. We were just in the Escort book, and I don't believe it listed this one. Might be a Lynx only feature. But yeah, that's about it. Yeah, geez, this really is something special. So the Mercury Lynx, usually you're getting the more stuff than what the Escorts have. But not only that, this is 1983. You have the most amount of options and features available than any other year of the Lynx. Heck, hey, let's go up through the 90s and the 2000s. You won't find any Escort more well equipped than these 1983 cars. Not going to happen. There's a few mechanical improvements along the way, but you could always take those and put them in these, and then these are still reigning superior. So, but if you're interested in picking up one of these, they're always available online. Many places like eBay have them in varying condition. You can see mine has a little bit of fade on the back. It's been, but not too much on the front. So this has been towards the top of somebody's stack and slid around a bunch. But it sits in a protector sleeve now. But you can get these used from anywhere between $2 and $10. So you don't have to spend much on them. Otherwise, you're welcome to view them and download them for free from FordHeritage.com. It's a fantastic place, and they'll have every Mercury catalog that they've ever documented. Not every one they've ever made, but they got most of those. So yeah, feel free to check that out. I do have a video on how to use that. Otherwise, keep an eye out for more of these as I come across them. Thanks.